What's up, YouTube? Kiko here with the Thursday deck update. I haven't done this in a while, and it was mainly because we were coming to the end of a format, and I was playing Plants at the time, so there was no reason for me to really talk too much about what I was updating because I didn't know what to build yet because of the ban list. But now that it's out, I know a couple of decks that I'm going to be putting together, and I wanted to talk to you guys about them today. I want to talk about 3 decks that I think can be fairly competitive in the new meta, and that will also be more or less of on the lines of being budget. Yes, there will be a few expensive cards in here, but you can't expect there to be all budget cards if you're trying to be competitive. So the 3 decks that I'm working on building right now are Lightsworn. And let's talk about Lightsworn first. Since the release of Raw Yellow Mega Pack and Legendary Collection 2, along with a few other products, it's become increasingly easy to build Lightsworn. You've got Super Aaron, the Lightsworn Monk. We now have Common Lila thanks to the Dragon Structure deck. We have Common Judgment Dragons. We have Ultra Luminas along with Commons and Rares. So Lumina is not difficult to get at all. You can bling out things like your Garoths, no longer having to have that $7 turbo pack. Now you can get Super. Now you can get the Ultra for like $2 or $3. And it's become increasingly easy to build the deck. Yes, there are still a few cards in there that they have not reprinted, but you can't really complain right now. If you plan to build a deck to be able to take to a YCS or to a regional and be somewhat competitive, and you're wanting to build Lightsworn, you can't complain at it being expensive because it is no longer expensive at the moment. The next deck I'm going to talk about are Ninjas. Now, Ninjas are going to have a few high-dollar cards. Yes, your Grandmaster Hanzos will run you anywhere from $15 to $20 a piece. Besides that, you really don't have a lot of super expensive things. Now, if you want to run the 3 Guaiba and the Velo engine so that you can access Logia and Dolka, that's your choice. And yes, it will increase the price of the deck just a little bit. But Logia only being about a $20 card at the moment, $25 card, and Dolka being somewhere up there a little higher, but not too terribly expensive. Since you only need to run 1 of each in this deck, it's not that bad. Your Blade Armor Ninjas are only going to run you about $5 to $8, and they're really not that hard to pick up. Konami made it really easy for us to run those because they are supers. And Hanzos, even though they have been a little hard to come by because people don't like letting them go, it is a fairly cheap card for being the staple card that you need to begin the deck. So I think Ninjas have a great shot at really getting up there into a decent playability in the YCS and regional scene. The next deck I'm going to talk about that I'm also building are Evols. Now with Evols, this is going to be one of your more expensive decks just because of the side deck. Or in the extra deck, I'm sorry. The extra deck you do need to run 2 to 3 Logia and 1 to 2 Dolka, most likely. That will increase the cost of the deck just a little bit. But the fact that your actual deck is extremely cheap, these are probably $5 a piece. Your Westlows are going to run you like $2 to $3 a piece. They are extremely cheap. And once again, if you're running, if you want to put Guaibas in there, if you happen to want to do that, you don't need to really, but you can do that. All these decks can run without Tour Guide. You don't want to run Tour Guide in Lightsworn, and you could run it in Ninjas or Evols if you wanted to, but they don't need it by any stretch of the imagination. So the extra deck will cost you a little bit of money, but you know what? Most of your decks are already going to be more expensive than this anyways, and most people have the access to get a hold of 1 or 2 $20 to $30 Logia or Dolka. So it's really not going to be too bad. I think each one of these decks has great potential. An Evol deck made it into the top 32 at YCS Atlanta, and so I think a lot of people, if you watch some of the videos that the guy made on other people's channels, like Pro Winston's channel, you can really learn that the deck is pretty good, and once again, fairly budget and inexpensive. And as we learned from the winner of YCS Atlanta, you do not necessarily have to play crazy expensive cards to be competitive. Now, do Max C's and Fiendish Chains help? Yes, they do. And if you can get them, great. If you can't, there are substitutes for them. Effect Veiler is now a $5 super rare thanks to the release of the Order of Chaos Special Edition. So we really don't have to worry about everybody running around trying to get Effect Veilers anymore, paying $12 for a rare. You can now probably pay around $2 to $3 for a rare and pay $5 for a super, which is incredible. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think about these 3 decks. Let me know if you're going to be building any of them. I will update you guys on all of these decks as we go. I am probably 3/4 of the way done with each deck. I have a few cards left to pick up for each deck. I will show you guys how I'll be running the deck at the time. I will show you guys how I ran it at a local of a following week from now. And then I will also let you guys know what I plan to take to YCS Dallas. I'm pretty sure it'll end up being one of these types of decks. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and build Windups or Rabbit before then. While these may not hold up all the time to Rabbit and Windup, I think they can have good matchups depending on the type of player and the side deck that you choose. So thanks a lot, YouTube. Stick around, and I'll see you guys next Thursday for the next Thursday deck update. Talk to you later.